Hello, Soul Stars. Welcome to A Soul's Voice. This is a therapeutic place that allows for your soul to speak. I thank you so much for being here with me today and tuning in. And if you decide to stay and join the community, I really thank you for that and appreciate you for that. And I'm excited for us to build an community that is here for truth, light, and empowerment and love overall. I believe if you are here listening to this message, then it's something your soul needs for you to hear. I personally believe that I activate. I have a unique take on life and how life flows. So if you're listening to me, then I'm going to be helping you shift perspectives and getting in contact with your most truest self and God itself, right? So relax and remember to take what makes your soul feel heard and leave the rest. Also, I just love to tell people that I'm only a soul's voice, a voice of a soul leading you back to your own inner guidance. We all are able to tap into the same wisdom that I am sharing with you. I'm only a medium mediating you back to your own divine nature and fostering you to have a closer relationship to not only your higher self, but to God, Allah, whatever or whomever you resonate with. So let's get into today's message. Today's message is about manifestation. This is a trending topic. Everyone is talking about manifestation, but I don't think everyone truly knows what manifestation is. I take that as confirmation. um, Manifestation is basically a co creation process. We are not creating life on our own. We are working with so many beautiful beings and energies that we see and we don't see. So, I just want to talk a little bit about the universe, about our divinity, and how everything is kind of mapped out before we get here, which I think a lot of people will be like, how does that work with free will and all? But we'll get into all that. Just sit back and relax. So let's start. The purpose of the universe is designed to bring us our soul experience in this lifetime. We are co creators, and our only job is for us to hold up our end of the bargain of collabing. And that means basically we focus on ourselves. Nothing outside of ourselves is in our control. That is all for the universe and God to control, which is a big breath of release. So, in the definition of manifestation, you can see that it says an event, an action, or object that clearly shows or embodies something, especially a theory or an abstract ideal. Abstract ideal is what's sticking out to me because we get a lot of ideals. We get a lot of things that pop up in our head and we're like, oh, I should try this. I should do this. I should build this. And we get excited about it and we start working towards it. That's where our job stops. Once we get the ideal and we take action on it and put intention and energy behind it, that's when everything else should just not be of our concern. The when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, who's going to make it happen, who will I meet that will help me make it happen is none of our concern. That's when we have to give it over to the universe, give it over to God. Um, the main thing we should focus on is our heart because our heart is the compass within our lives. So you need to constantly be aware of your heart space, making sure you clear your heart space. You are in deep connection with your heart space because not only is it leading our life, it's also connecting us back to God. It's connecting us to the ether. It's connecting us to our truest, purest desires and basically our soul plan because we are consciously and unconsciously always creating with the universe, whether we are putting intention behind it or not. And some of us have a natural flow about us that everything kind of works out because we're just naturally tapped into our soul plan. Those moments when you are creating and it's not a part of your soul plan or is not what you truly desire, that's when you come up against the restrictions and the discontentment in life. And it's because you're going after a life that you truly, at a soul level, you don't want. So that's why it's important to always be connected to your heart chakra. So, what does that mean exactly? How does the universe help us? Well, the universe brings us messages, and these messages can come through people, places, things, songs, animals, conversations. With conversations, it'll be like you'll be walking by people having a conversation, and there'll be one part of that conversation that just seems to get louder and stand out. Kind of like if you watch pick a cards or like clicking on this message, it stood out. There's so many messages about manifestation. There's so many things. There's a creator that I watch, Energy, and she always uses the example about Amazon, and she says like, you're on Amazon and you're looking for a shirt. There's thousands of shirts, right? And all those shirts you're passing are someone's deepest desires. They're like, ooh, I wish I had the money to get that shirt. But you pass it up like it's nothing. And you find the shirt that is your deepest desires. That's kind of how the universe speaks to us through awareness. Our awareness is caught for 1 second, maybe 3 seconds, where something just, nothing else is in our focus but that thing. Um, so that's how some of the ways that the universe, is trying to communicate with us and trying to keep us on track to bring in the manifestations that we are really desiring at a soul level. So this leads me to talk about the divine plan, because to understand your what you truly want in life, you need to understand your divine plan at a soul level. And I believe that before we come here, we sit with God and we map out our soul experience in this lifetime. Like, okay, I want to go through this, I want to do this, and I want to be able to experience this. We also pick out our names. We also pick out our family. We pick out everything. And then we incarnate here. And the main goal of incarnation is really to remember that you are a soul within a body and that this is not your home. This is only a temporary place where you're like basically learning and growing as a soul being. It's like a big old playground for souls that feel very immersive. It kind of reminds me of my kids like to play, what is it, the Oculus? And I'm like, this is kind of like the human experience. We're like, we have the Oculus goggles on, except it's like a full body suit and you have to live it out. Like, there's only one way to leave, and we all know what that is. So that's basically this is what Earth is. So that means that every challenge you come across, you can overcome, because guess what? You planned it. It's something you always plan. You already planned. And this is where deja vu comes in. And people are like, oh, I feel like I've done this before. It's because technically you have, because you've already mapped out your life and you're just, living it in a way. So when you have challenges, you can overcome them because it's something that your soul wanted to experience so that it can grow on a soul level. And what makes me excited about this is because the same things goes for desires. It's not just like the heavy stuff, it's the things that you truly desire at a soul level. So if you truly desire at a soul level to be a billionaire, guess what? You have it in you to become a billionaire. You just have to tap into that. And you will have it in this lifetime as long as you stay on your soul plan, because your soul plan desires that because it's meant to happen in this lifetime. If it wasn't meant to happen in this lifetime, you wouldn't desire it. Let's go back to the example about the shirt. Say it's a high quality and luxury shirt. If your soul didn't desire luxury, like at a soul level, because a lot of people think they want luxury or like a lot of money, but it's not the money that they want, it's the experience that they want. The money has nothing to do with it. If they could just have the experience without having to pay, they wouldn't even care about the money. They just go do the experience, right? So you have to really tap into your desires and remember that whatever you're desiring, you will have, you can have. So let me see what else I wrote. I channeled down. Okay. So we co-create this lifetime with the universe to bring these challenges and blessings towards us for our soul experience. You are the soul star of this movie called Your Life. And when you are not connected to God, your higher self, and the universe, which is technically the filmmakers in this life, you are constantly creating off script, which means you're going to have a bunch of problems. You're going to have a bunch of challenges, not necessarily needed. It's just a choice that you made because that's where free will comes in. And you will have the same themes coming. This is where people get stuck in the same cycle because they're not awakened enough and tapped in enough to their inner heart, their higher self, God, the universe, to understand, like, oh, you know what? I keep running into this problem. What is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to show me? So that once you realize the lesson, you can move on to the next thing. That's where people get stuck because you got to remember the film was already written and you just came down here to earth to act it out. But the challenging part is remembering. Remember when I said our life mission is basically remembering that we are a soul within a vessel? Because if this is already a written script and we're just here acting it out, but we don't remember that we're just here acting it out. We have no memory of before we incarnated. So we have to be aware enough to awaken to our divinity within us. And this is when you have to tap into your intuition and tap into your heart. And I believe that DNA is like divine natural attributes. Those are your divine talents, your natural talents that you're just great at. And that's because that is a part of your soul's plan. You're going to use that in some way to help someone in this lifetime or help you get to where your soul needs to get. 1111 is a beautiful number. I see it a lot. And it lets me know, like, okay, I've completed some type of awakening or I'm going through an awakening. This is my awakening number. I always see this number whenever it's time to elevate as a soul being. So let's see. Trying to see what else I wrote. I hope it's all flowing together. A lot of times when I do these videos, I channel a lot and I write a lot of things down, and it'll, like, this specific message about the universe and co-creating has came to me over the last 2 weeks. So there's a lot of papers like spread out within my channeling journal. So I'm trying to make sure I go over everything. Oh, okay. They're saying go over this. Okay. So there's another example that wait, where did I put it? There's another example that I want to use about creating. So one, they want me to say, okay, calm down. Let me take a deep breath. Because now I'm getting excited. They're like, yes, okay. So two things to distinguish like the soul from the ego. Because the battle of the body, because the battle is within us, it's really not without us, right? The soul knows what it came here to experience. We always have that knowing tied into us. God has written his word on our heart, right? Our soul is the blueprint. Our ego does not know. Our ego is not connected. So our ego thinks it knows. So how to tell the difference is when the soul is more focused internally. What will this do for me internally? Like if I get this thing that I want, Am I getting it because, like, say you want a car. Are you getting the car because it'll make you look like you have certain things in life? Or will it bring you this peaceful happiness feeling like you enjoy the car? It makes you feel good. It's all about you. Women, we say this a lot. Men don't understand it. When we get dressed and men be like, oh, don't wear that because you just want other men's attention, or they think we're doing it for them. But reality, like, no, we're doing this for us. This is the best example because we get dressed. It makes us feel beautiful. It makes us feel a certain way. That's exactly how you know it's a soul desire. When it's the ego, it's all about external. The soul is internal focus and the ego is external focus. It focuses on others' opinions. How will this make me look? Oh, I will look great in this because if somebody see me in this, they gonna be so jealous. Like, no, that's the ego talking. That's not your soul talking. So that's how you tell the difference. Another example that I want to use, and I think this is where I'll close out this message, is when you want to know another example of truly desiring something. This came to me. It's another example about a car. So, say you are trying to manifest paying off, getting a brand new car that's paid off, basically. And your ego comes in and it's like, yeah, I want a brand new car paid off, but it needs to be like a Tesla or a Jeep. And I want it this color and I want it to have this color on the inside. And the universe is listening. It's like, okay, okay. So you get a paid off car, but it's a van. Same color inside, same color outside, but it's a van. And most people be like, oh, my manifestation didn't work. I didn't get the paid off Tesla or Jeep that I wanted. This is not working. It's not working because that wasn't what your soul was desiring. Your soul was desiring to have a paid off vehicle. The ego was desiring to have a paid off vehicle that was a Tesla or Jeep. How can you tell? The soul desires basically having a car that's paid off. It wasn't about the car, it was about the car being paid off. And why? It's because the soul is desiring to invest this money, extra money that you were using on a car payment, into something that could build longevity, wealth, something that can last a long time. So it wasn't even about the car, it was always about the car being paid off. And sometimes we get so caught up in the external, the illusions of this world, that we forget like the true desire. Like, why do I really want this? What was the main reason? And that is what you need to focus on. That should be the driving force in your life. And really, it's all about receiving. I think manifestation is a feminine energy, and we all have feminine energy, male or female, within us. It's a feminine process. You have to be open to not only receive the wisdom from in your heart, but also receive the desires of your soul. So I think that's all I wanted to share. I hope I got all this out. And everything is here to help you. So you have to remember that. That's the most important thing to remember. And it's hard to remember because the ego really gets caught up in the external things that are always changing, that's never solidified. Everything changes. The only thing that remains the same is your heart, the internal, the divine. So, thank you guys for joining me today. I hope this message helped you in any way. And if you choose to stay and join the community, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. And I'm always open to more questions about, like, the universe, or things to, help shift our perspective and help us grow into our highest selves. But I thank y'all so much. I hope y'all have a beautiful day, evening, or night whenever you're tuning in to watch this video. And I will see y'all in the next channel message. Bye.